Hey sunshine! Welcome back to Dark Sunlight. If you're new here, I'm Cady, and our little grove of the internet is full of bullet journals, tarot cards, and all things witchy planning and self-improvement. If you're into that, the kindest thing you can do is like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free and really helps me to make more content for you. If you want to take our friendship to the next level, I also hang out on Instagram and TikTok. In this video, I'll show you how I'm setting up my bullet journal for February. To continue the second installment of my Familiars and Florals theme, I chose to draw deer and snowdrops. In January, I created an adorable foxes and pine branches theme, so if you haven't seen that one yet, I'll link it above. I wanted to create a more cold, wintry vibe this time with blue and neutral tones, as February is a very cold and dark month where I live. Deer may seem an odd choice for a familiar, as they're not exactly the kind of animal you'd keep as a pet, but I want to share a fun story with you. My dad's side of the family isn't exactly witchy. I'd say I learned most of what I know from my mom. But this is one thing I always thought was really sweet. We have a family farm that my grandparents ran when I was a kid. Back then, my grandpa had created designated spots on the property where he'd periodically go out and leave feed for the local deer who live in the bush on the 100-acre property. If you're not from rural Ontario or Australia, bush is just another word for forest. My grandpa would always sing to the deer as he laid out the feed so they'd know his voice and know it was safe to come and eat. My grandpa has since passed away, and my dad is the one living on the farm now, so he has continued the tradition. Many generations of deer have come and gone, grown up and grown old, but they always know they can come get a snack when they hear the singing on our farm. The second page I'll set up is my monthly login calendar, again creating large boxes with lots of room to write, as well as 3 boxes below the calendar to write down the books I want to read this month, the things I'll focus on, and the tarot card of the month. When I did my Samhain tarot reading in October, I pulled the Page of Swords for February. The Page of Swords represents truth, learning, and seeking clarity. A new element I've added to my bullet journals this month is washi tape. I've always seen people using beautiful washi to fill the empty spaces of their bullet journal spreads, and I finally got some of my own. I used these thicker pieces to cover some space behind the boxes and just used an X-Acto knife to carefully score the edges so I could reveal the boxes I had drawn underneath. I then used any pieces of tape I cut away to fill other spaces throughout the spreads so nothing went to waste. I used many different drawing references to create the poses of the deer throughout these pages. The drawing references I use and mood boards for my bullet journal themes are just one of the things I share with my patrons over on my Patreon page, The Dabbled Grove. And on that note, I want to thank a few of my newest patrons: Amanda, Ashley, Cheryl, Kayla, and Valeria. Thank you all so much for the support. If you're interested in joining the Dabbled Grove as well, I'll leave a link in the description for you. These next pages will be my habit and mood trackers. On the left, I'll start with the habits. I've drawn all the titles this month in a brush lettering style using my Tombow brush pens and then added details. I've used a darker color to darken only the bottom of the letters and blended it upward using the same lighter base color. I then added a simple black line drop shadow, leaving a small gap of white space between the letters and the line, and adding a few dots and dashes to give it more interest. Lastly, I used my N89 warm gray Tombow to add another drop shadow next to the black one. Again this month, I will be focusing on building one main habit and then maintaining the other habits I've already built. The lines next to the focus habit will be used to describe my reasoning for building this habit. This is your why power. Once you're clear on why you want to build a certain habit, you're far more likely to be motivated to do it. On the right, I created my mood tracker for the month. I drew in deer tracks trailing up the page so I can color in one footprint according to my mood per day. I filled the empty space with a snowdrop flower and the color key. At the bottom, I added a resting deer, clearly tired from all the walking. The next page will be my health tracker. This is where I'll track my sleep schedule, daily step count, and weight throughout the month. I record the sleep schedule as a bar graph and then add the steps and weight right over top of it as line graphs. I had a ton of space on the right-hand side for decorations, so I added a jumping deer, more snowdrops, and more of that lovely big washi tape. I do realize the back feet look really odd. I ended up fixing it off camera later. This is why I chose the Familiars theme this year, to get better at drawing animals. So I'm glad to learn from these mistakes and slowly improve. The last page I'll create is my first weekly log of the month. I started in the top left of the page by drawing a mini calendar to refer to. I added horizontal boxes framed in by a rounded rectangle down the right half of the page for the days of the week. Each title is just the day written in my regular script with a circle underneath for the number. I filled the empty space on the left with deer track patterns, snowdrops, and more washi tape. And this is how it all turned out. If you're interested in grabbing the printable of this setup, I will of course be sharing it with my patrons, and it will also be available in my Etsy shop. Both my Patreon and Etsy will be linked below. I really enjoyed playing with washi tape this month, and I love how the Deer and Snowdrops theme came together. I hope you do too. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.